With the extra point, this is Erik McKinney, joined by Darrell Rideaux. Darrell, let's talk something near and dear to your heart, the USC cornerbacks. Your biggest takeaway, that this is a new defense, new cornerback coach in Dante Williams, and you've got guys playing field and boundary, and it's not something that we've seen historically from USC in the last couple of years. Your biggest takeaway watching them play against Arizona State?
Again, these are corners that have now been in the program for at least a couple of years. So there's chemistry and continuity when you talk about the quartet, the two safeties, Talanao Hufanga and Palomalu. The thing that stands out from the cornerback position is they're not being asked to do anything more than they've done in years past, but you've now defined their roles. You talk about a boundary side corner and a field side corner. Corners like to know. They're creatures of habits. They're like those cats. Isolate them, let them be athletic. And what we saw is this defense relying heavily upon that athleticism to be locked up with the corners. This is a predominantly man coverage team, or defensively, in terms of the scheme that they want to run. And this team will only go as successful as the corners continue to hold up. And so far, I'd give them a B+. They had some key moments where you thought, okay, they got an opportunity to be the best secondary in all of the Pac-12, if not parts of the country. But then there was some lapse in judgment, especially when you start asking them to go into the box, inside the tackles. So again, not a bad start. You like where they're heading. The fact that they have clearly defined roles gives you the optimism of that this defense can be something special. But they're only going to go, like I said, as deep as the depth allows them to. And so far, with their range and athleticism, you like the fact that they're building off the success that they started to have last year. And under this defense, simplified, you can expect we all have great expectations for the growth of the secondary.
Yeah, I thought it was a big step for them. A couple penalties, but Chris Steele doesn't give up a catch. And what I liked is they were physical. They knew Arizona State's best wide receiver goes down early in that game, and they're throwing out a couple true freshmen there. I like Elijah Griffin and Chris Steele played against those guys like they knew they were true freshmen. Like they knew they could go and do whatever they want against them. And they really kind of bodied them up. There were a couple big pass deflections, and I thought that they played really well. I think one of the questions, and you alluded to it a little bit, Arizona State, they bounced some plays outside, and there were some big running lanes kind of to the perimeter, and Jaden Daniels was able to kind of break through from the front seven and find some space out there. How quickly can they react? How much of a force can they be kind of filling holes and not letting those plays spill outside and pick up big gains? I think that's a question. But just in terms of, if you're looking at what they did in terms of coverage, that's a good quarterback. That was not a great group of wide receivers, just based on what Arizona State had coming back and kind of the experience that they lacked in that spot. But I like that USC's corners really seem to know that and take advantage of that. I do think that they are comfortable in this defense, and they really like what you said, being able to play man-to-man and kind of just say, hey, this is you. Whatever happens here, it's going on film, and we're going to know exactly what you did, what you were responsible for on this play. They seem to rise up to that challenge, and I think they had a really good game against Arizona State, and it gives you a good feeling about those corners, where SC there hasn't been a dominant quarterback or cornerback play, or a run of cornerback play. Had a couple great players there. But this defense, certainly in that first game, looks like maybe you have something here with those two corners. The three corners. Isaac Taylor-Stewart also coming in there as well.